All right, we're having to piecemeal this video together. Second half made it, first half didn't. So I'm reshooting this, which is great because so much is happening out there. We are going into total misinformation, deception, lies, and ignorance. Sometimes it's not purposeful. I'm going to explain exactly how this works and to tell you that you need to get ready for this because you can completely avoid all of it and absolutely not disregard, but let's just say place that world over here and create your own, which is happening right now. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I promised a bling hat. Here we go, my cowboy hat. I've worn this before. Okay, it's okay to be different. Don't tell people what to do. Don't. That's judgment. That's you saying, I have the answers I know. So what I suggest is that you share. Share ideas, share opinions, share information, if it's welcome. Sometimes we're sharing it because we want somebody to well, I'm right. See how, no, let's let it go. Just say, if I can share some information that might help somebody who's looking for information. I didn't come to your living room. You came to mine. So I assume that you want to hear something about this title that I created for you, which I'm going to go over thoroughly. So first of all, yeah, I hope you'll subscribe. I want you guys to keep coming back. The algorithms are going to tell YouTube that absolutely I want to speak peace. I want to speak empowerment and in a new world that we can create and allow you to decide if you want to join that. Because it exists. Maybe you're not seeing it that much. Why not? Probably tuned into other things that are way more sensational. And humans love sensation. They love drama. They love challenges. They get bored if they don't have it right. Just look at the American television lineup. Violence, crime, true life stories. I killed my best friend. It's just insanity. It's insanity. We love it. Why do they do it? Because that's what people are watching. We can change that. What do you want to watch that can be exciting for you but doesn't have to go into that darkness? Because what you focus on, you create. So you're actually creating a frequency on this planet that is either taking us as a collective up or down. You as an individual can be on the highest level. And so therefore you will experience something different, but you still do not escape the collective experience. All right? You won't be on that floor, but you'll be in the mansion and you know what's going on there. Maybe not intimately, but you know it's not good. If you want to change that, then this is a good video for you. Let's talk. Somebody today, I'm going to be doing a PR campaign for digitalexplorers.net. What is that? Planet conscious businesses. Doesn't matter your background. Let's find out your beautiful skills and create something amazing. You either participate in that world or you stay in the one that has not worked and is destroying everything beautiful. And it doesn't have to. We're totally in charge of that. Isn't that insane? The world's terrible. Well, who's doing it? We are. And then, no, it's them. But if you say it's them, then you're still in separation and blaming, and you're not the creator of the new ways. Okay? You're still buying your fast food and polluting yourself and the planet and putting weed killer out there and saying it's everybody else's fault. No, we're all 100% responsible. All of us. All of us. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our choices. So let's talk about what's going to happen out here. It already is. 2025 is going to be a big year of reveals. But it's not going to be what you think. Now, I just wanted to share something with you. And you know this is absolutely going to make sense. We as humans can't get along with each other. We don't believe in this or that. Some people believe in life on other planets. Others don't. Some people think they're horrible. Others don't. Well, let me share just what exists right now. All things There are positive ones and negative ones, just like us, but we're extreme. The majority of people on planet Earth are very, let's say, separated, violent, self-serving. Self-serving, okay? It doesn't even have to be violent. But that's separation. That means we're not taking care of one another. Therefore, we place our needs first, and that's how our oceans get polluted, everything. That's how animals get treated like garbage, and then we eat them. So anybody watching this is thinking, wait a second, this horrible stuff's going on, and people are actually eating it. They're not even doing anything to change that. It's not that you can't eat meat. It's just ignorance. Ignorance is not a plea of innocence. So we cannot claim ignorance anymore, or in a court of law, right? We are going to be fed, and already are being fed, misinformation. Area 51, Area 51, is it Area 51? Yeah. Is already admitted, and some documents have come out. I haven't seen or read them, but this is what I've heard, that in whether this is all true or not, it's going to all start happening anyways. Supposedly documents were released that the government admitted that they did put out misinformation, especially to locals, about what they were seeing, to deflect, saying that they were alien craft, to deflect the fact that it was U.S. technology. I don't believe that for a minute. I don't. So, I started to say, I'm launching a PR campaign for Digital Explorers, and the guy I was talking to about, what I represent said, your channel's out there. Are you, do you get, monitored? Oh, he said, yeah, big time. But here's the good part about my channel. I don't take sides. Some of you think I do. I'm like, you didn't watch my video. I can tell when you haven't, because I never take a side. You probably don't even know who I voted for. Bet you don't. Because I tell you that I don't blame Trump or anybody, any administration or corporation for anything, you have to be the consumer of these things. You have to participate in it in order to fuel it. So we are totally responsible. Now, is he shaking things up? Yeah, big time. So I think you're going to see more of these disclosure reports coming out. But here's what I believe. It's all still misinformation. I believe they are alien craft. I really do. I don't think it's our stuff. I think some of it is. I don't think there's black or white, right or wrong. I think some of it is. Do I know? Absolutely not. I have no proof whatsoever. And then you'll get 101 different stories from people, and that's what's going to happen. You will drive yourself insane if you try to figure out truth, because there isn't one. Lou Alessandro, he loves being in that little private group of people, and he has never seen a UFO. He says this. He's not an experiencer. He works for the government. He works with government people, and even if he thinks he's this big whistleblower, if he was, they would have taken him out. There'd be somebody in a nest up there with a laser pointed at him. And the minute he stepped out, he'd be gone. That's how it works. A lot of people disappear. Why? They're not compromising themselves. He is, and he probably doesn't even know it. Greer, total puppet. I look at these sky watchers, and they look super cool, but, calling it dog whistles to call in, craft. Why? Why? Why don't we clean up the planet and act like, stop acting like morons, and they'll show up. You don't need a dog whistle to call something in. And do what with it? Hey, hi, we're cool, but the rest of the planet would take you out in 2 seconds if they saw you. And this is why we are not going to see the real deal showing up for a while, until we prove that we, A, can handle it, B, will not be violent against them, C, accepting of whatever help they're going to give us. And we know that's not going to happen because we have low density groups, sects of people that absolutely do not want to lose control of what destroys our planet but makes them a lot of money. It's, that's not going to go away easy. Free energy, oh my gosh, that would put a lot of people out of business, and they don't understand how much better off they would be for that. They could live opulent lives. But see, those of us who want free energy and to clean up the planet don't want opulent lives. We want loving, giving communities. We will never lack for anything, and we know that. We don't need the extreme material world to make us happy. Can we enjoy it? Hey, I just went shopping yesterday. Loved it. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a few items that I really need, but I enjoyed the experience. I mean, I really took my time and enjoyed the experience, and I was very cognizant of what I was purchasing. So I'm going to ask you right now, are you watching all this stuff? It will drive you nuts. Even Ross Coulthart, who I love, News Nation, he's showing all different sides. And the truth is, if anybody is funded by anything out there, government or these, Northrop Grumman or all these organizations, if they are funded, there's an agenda going on. They're not doing it because, they want to be friends with the aliens and we're going to fix the world. No! Hello? Not happening. Okay? So I want you to remember everything you hear is a slant. And even if it's a fact for that person, it's still coming from their belief and what they see things as, okay? Even people like Chris Bledsoe, who I absolutely believe, like some of his stories, like it's tough. It's tough. He takes us here and then here and then here and then here. And it gets crazier and crazier. And you start to say, okay, at what point does this make any sense at all? And then, and then you listen to him and he still has religion going on. So he's tainted with that. And so you have to say, okay, he had an experience. I do believe he's in touch with love. He has very loving messages. That's what I'm fine with. I want that message. I'm open to hearing that message because that's what I'm going to connect to and create. Now, if you let the other stuff in, you're going to be so messed up with your opinions, and some of it's going to sound so true because for those people it is. Somebody's going to, a reptilian sat in my living room. Like, why? If it was evil, why? Why you? You must be connected to that. So yeah, sure, it exists. If you delve in that stuff, you're going to connect to all of it. Is that what you want? Stay away. Do you watch TV? Watch what you're watching on TV, or don't watch what you're watching on TV. And mute. Mute everything you don't need to hear. Mute all commercials. All you ever hear are songs that you related to that you loved now have corporation names instead of the original lyrics. And so you're singing them all day. Brilliant, brilliant marketing. You know what? All of that's going to go on. In fact, the more we have AI, the more you're going to see things and you won't know what's real and what's not. So I'm going to ask you right now, why do you need to know anything? You don't need to know anything. You guys have read my book. It's called The Knowing. You don't need to know anything because it will sway you one way or the other, and that's separation, and that causes conflict and struggle in the human race. We don't need it. We don't need to take a side on something that is in a material world that's going to dissolve as soon as we leave here. It's all tests. It's all choices. That's it. And so we're trying to, who's doing what? What's true? Who cares? Who cares? Well, you don't understand. You're still relating it to the material world. We're going to leave here. We have to do everything in our power to clean it up, to show other ways of living on this beautiful planet that is not going to destroy it, but respect it. Everything is conscious. Everything. That blade of grass, a stone, everything is a material object on a different density, but all of it is conscious. It's just a different frequency and density of the same energy that creates all things. Misinformation is going to be rampant. Lies and ignorance. What's the ignorance? People will believe things and they'll get on there and they will tell you this is how it is. And then you're going to see people that you've trusted for years. I mentioned Bashar. Always had some amazing, information, messages. Doing his little... He doesn't do that anymore. What happened? Daryl's talking now. And Daryl's talking politics. I don't want to get into politics, but watch it. You don't need it. We don't need to hear that. He doesn't know the future. I don't know the future. I can tell you certain things to get ready for, and one is you will see more misinformation and confusing stories and supposed facts and government stuff coming out that's going to totally take you on a ride, and you don't need to go on it. That ride, that little ride park is closed down for me. I'm done. I throw up on the tilt-a-whirl anyways. My brother talked me into going on it. I said, no, Doug, no, I get sick. No, come on, you can handle it. I threw up on his tennis shoes. That's how it works. I throw up when I go on those rides. I don't need to go on those rides. I know what the result's going to be, and it's not good. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to stay on stable ground. I'm going to go on the elevator. I'm going to go to the penthouse, and I'm going to sit up there with everybody that knows that there's a way that we can shine lights on those in the basement and let them know it's okay. You will have more abundance and health and joy and unconditional love that you never imagined up here, and it doesn't rely on the material world. Yet, the very thing that you don't need will come to you because you are not thinking that it is something you have to get to be happy. That actually repels it. You know this. You guys know how this manifesting works. I need it. You just separated yourself from the very thing that you want. I gotta have it. And there's always excuses. I see, oh my God, digital explorers, people they're gonna join, and they're like, well, wait a second, I have this, and I can't afford it. I said, great, live in that world. And when you're sick of it, come on over and see me, because every day we're working on changing your life and others, and we're creating online businesses. In other words, we're not broke people. You know what? Being an entrepreneur is not easy. Let's do it in a way that's going to give you a chance of great success, but behind it is going to be life-changing for you, if you choose it. I can't do that for you. I can only give you the tools. We're doing amazing things. I told you, Pepperdine University named me a finalist in Most Fundable Companies 2025. They're recognizing it as a legitimate company. PR firm just contacted me and said, we have big major dudes out there, media, that want articles on eco-friendly, sustainable businesses. We liked what we saw with you. All right? So what's the bottom line? Everything is available to you. You just get to choose that world you live in. And so you can entertain yourself all day, and it does no good except for to confuse you, and you will actually fuel the very thing that you don't like. You will create it. Yes, now, oh yes, just watching it. You create. You're responsible and powerful. Now I'm going to switch over. This is crazy. If you want to watch the second half of the video, you can watch it now. Otherwise, you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You guys go down into my description, and you can order non-toxic, planet-friendly, no plastic, clean up your body, clean up your house. It's actually cheaper. Everything's cheaper. You get discount codes, support the businesses who are changing the world. Work with them, buy their stuff, and get healthy. So we're going to switch over to the second half. The second half of the original video. And all I can say is, tread lightly, my friend. Be cautious. See you in part 2. Battery change. We don't believe in our own beliefs and powers because we're thinking, well, who am I to know these things? We need physical proof, but most of these people have no physical proof. David Grush, I think his name's David Grush, Lou Alessandro, they all are government workers. They're getting a slant on everything. Even if they believe what they're saying, they're not getting 100% information that's true. Why do we need it? Because everything they say is going to be some kind of version of the truth. And everybody's individual experience is going to be their version. So those abductees, if you believe in that, I do. I believe people have been abducted. I think there's a lot of crap out there too. But let's say the real deal, They're going to tell you the version of their experience based on their beliefs. So if they're in fear and they see all these things happening as some horrible thing, even though if it's so horrible, they're not going to drop them off back in their bed. What is that? And somebody else will say, I agreed to this in advance. I forgot that purposely, because who needs to walk around knowing that? We are contributing to the advancement of humans. So they're looking at our DNA and all this stuff. What alien hybrids, all this stuff, whatever you believe. You can say it's a positive thing or a negative thing. What do we do to our animals? First of all, we treat them like garbage here. And on the other side, we're trying to save species. This is insanity. So if somebody comes down here and looks at us, they're going to say, wait a minute. You have animals that you're just treating so terribly, very highly intelligent, beautiful, have deep feelings, treating them so terribly and slaughtering them, then you eat them? What a barbaric society. And then on the other side, they see this, loving, let's take them and tag them and put them back in here. What are we? What are we? And then there's those that participate in it by, eating that food, saying, well, that's okay, whatever. You're pescatarian, Landria, so you can't understand. No, I do understand. Everything's energy. And the source, all the way to how everything gets to you, you've got to ask yourself, whatever you're using, whatever you're doing, what was the source of it? Because that energy counts. And that's why people are getting sick. That's why kids have cancer, because we are filling ourselves with chemicals. And we're going to cure cancer. Hey, and then you take them to McDonald's or some other fast food place. Hello, who do you think sponsors some of those hospitals? Right? It's insanity. Yet we go along because it's convenient. It can't be convenient anymore. And no matter what anybody tells me, I am just observing. Do I really like some of these guys? Like Jake Barber's one of them. You've heard me say this. Why? Because he said he doesn't care about disclosure. He doesn't need disclosure. He knows that there's alien craft here and that they're sentient beings and they're intelligent beyond our comprehension. He's experienced that, as have most of his colleagues. Some of them haven't, and that's okay. They're trying to call these things in. I question that. Why? They call it the dog whistle. It's not a dog. It's a sentient being. And what are your intentions? All right? So that's what I want to know. They want to have first contact. Well, they're going to choose. So if something lands, the egg or the whatever it is, they have about 12 categories, which, unbelievably interesting. If you want to check anything out, you might want to check that out, that aren't seen by the naked eye, but they have equipment that detects this amazing stuff that's out there. It's out there right now. I just can't see it, right? Super cool. It's distracting. Focus on what your job is here. So these things, if they land, what are we going to do? We're going to have contact? And some people will say, well, those are the good ones and that there are evil ones, and it just never ends. We are contacting them right now. You can communicate with all beings right now. Right now. You can go outside of your body. The Monroe Institute, they teach that, and just hundreds of people have experienced this. I have experienced it. Have you? I've been out of my body twice. Once during sleep, and it was the real deal, trust me. You know how you know if it's the real deal? Look at your hands and your feet. And really look to see if it's solid or not. Dreams don't function that way. I did that once, and I thought, well, if this is a dream, because I was thinking this isn't a dream, but if it is, and I know I'm asleep, I can control the dream. So I was standing in this tundra, this really cool place. It was in Europe somewhere with these brick streets. It was gorgeous. Looking for cars were pulling up, and I said, okay, I'm going to create, I'm going to have, middle-aged, good-looking man's going to get out of this car. So this SUV pulls up, this white SUV, and a Hispanic woman and her kid got out. That's not what I ordered, right? So I realized I'm not creating this. I'm experiencing something that's actually going on. The second time, and you guys may have remembered this, it was a few years ago, I shared this with you. I was meditation, man, whoo-wee. You start doing that now, and you'll start to connect to some really powerful things. And all of a sudden, I was actually on the screen and porch looking at myself on the sofa, meditating. But here's the interesting part. There were two light beings with me, and they were both female. I have three. One's, no, actually, I take it back. I have three. There are two males and one female. But there were two females with me, two light beings standing there. And we were both looking at me on the couch. And I said, I think I'm going to give up fear. Isn't that interesting that I teach breakthrough fear? I think I'm going to give up fear like it was a game. And as soon as I said that out loud, I popped back into my body and went, whoa, okay. And I'm there talking to these light beings as if it was no big deal, because that is a part of you that exists right now. But as a human being, it's scary. As soon as we go outside of this anchored human form, we freak out. So why would we be okay with extraterrestrials landing and talking to us, especially since they can look really scary? Right? Because we've been trained to believe that that's scary. They have big eyes. All right. When does big eyes become scary? You know, we love big eyes. So, well, wait a minute. That's too big. That's too blue. I want you to understand that we are absolutely a blend of all these things. There's no human that got plopped on here. Where did that, or no, it was a molecule that turned into an ape and then turned, hello, McFly. We were planted here. We have 101 versions of us. You know, there's a skip in our DNA, and we have DNA we haven't even used. Why? We have the power to light it up. And you can do that right now, and you hold that power. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, because there's a whole faction of lower frequencies that are never going to tell you the truth, and you don't need it, because you know they exist here. They've been here. We're part of them. We're part of an unlimited creative illusion that goes on. And so we get to play it out. So don't try and figure it out. What do you want to do right now? What do you want to do? What do you want? Is it just the material world, or is there something bigger and greater, you guys? Come on over. We care about the planet. We care about others. Because it's going to come back to you. So whatever you're putting out, it has an ending. So if you're collaborating with low density, guess what? They will turn on you. Musk and Trump. You're not doing what I said. You disagree with me. I'm going to stop talking to you. Marriages work that way. What the heck is that? Friends. You know, let's turn on you. Let's get angry with you. I had a friend do that recently. It just blew my mind. I haven't been able to really understand that. What? What did I do? You know, we were lost. We couldn't find our way, directions somewhere, and I was making jokes. And she fired off at me. I'm like, why? Why do we do that? And by the way, I'm human. I walk around with the same crap going on that everybody else does. I just observe it more than other people. I see it, I recognize it, and I go, damn, this is always there. Because it's part of the density of this entire planet and the body that you're in. We don't need disclosure. You're going to get a lot of false messages. All of it's going to be distorted. All of it. Because it's based on somebody's opinion that's delivering that information. And that is coming in an individual human form. All right? If they tell you, I don't have an opinion, but here's what I've observed, and just because they observed it doesn't mean it's true either, because they're still seeing things the way that they believe. Yeah? It just goes on and on and on. The government's going to start revealing things that are actually probably going to do more damage than good, because we know they've been lying. Now they're going to admit they're lying. And so what they're telling us now is not going to be any more the truth than the other. They think they're going to ease us into it. There's no easiness. There are people that are petrified of other life beings. They're petrified of ghosts and orbs and anything that's unknown to them, because we're Neanderthals. All right? We can't comprehend that power, that unlimited power that is all things, that is absolutely coming from one and is one source and created by and is that, which is the one source of all things. Call it God, call it whatever you want. What is God to you? It's whatever you believe. I don't have to believe it. Neither does your family or your friends. And maybe you shouldn't even talk about it, because this is your journey and your effect. I just had somebody that hasn't contacted me in years. He said, I've been watching your YouTube channel, and here's the stuff that I have for you. And I know I sense your frustration in all of your videos. I'm like, dude, that's not what's going on in here. My sharing my information is not frustration at all. It's enthusiasm for what's available, and it's teachings. That's not what's going on in here. In here, we got calm waters. He says, I said, of course he's selling something. He's selling his training. I said, do you have the right person? Because, like, I do this for a living. This is what I do. I teach people how to empower themselves to go into peace and still experience being human, because that's powerful and it's real, and you're going to have feelings and sadness and anger and all those things. I don't get angry. Anger's not in my scope. Hasn't been for a long time. Anger, sadness, yeah. But I'll tell you what, you control that, and you've got to just observe it and realize it's part of your experience. So you know what you're feeling and thinking. So I said to him, you must have the wrong person. I seriously thought, maybe he's got the wrong person. Yeah, that's the problem. He thinks he knows what I'm thinking and that what I need. Don't be that ego. Don't be that arrogant jackass who's going to tell somebody what they need. All right? Allow. Share. But allow them to make their own choices, and they're not always going to be good ones. That's how babies learn to walk. They crack their heads and elbows and knees on everything. You did that. So did I. Allow us to evolve in whatever manner that we chose on our individual journeys here, and realize we're not individuals at all. And when you get that, you'll know that your thought affects me and everyone else, and therefore that's what you need to work on if you want to make a change on the planet in a positive way. That's all up to you. And if you don't, then you will be in the basement with others on your frequency. And that's okay too. You can't make a mistake. But I know that you don't want to suffer anymore. Suffer is when you are in conflict with things. You're always fighting for something. You have to get something. It's never satisfied, because the material world dissolves, as will you, and die. So are you ready for this? Disclosure is going to probably cause more problems than good, because it's going to be controlled. Anything that does show up is going to cause great fear and havoc for some people, and others will be ecstatic. That's just how it works. That's how the world works. We all have our different opinions. Get ready for that. But don't go into a panic or fear, because we're not. There's nothing to fear. Other beings absolutely will be here for us if we get our act together. And I don't think we're anywhere near that. We're not even close. Why? We're still looking for others for answers. We're still looking for people to control us. We're still blaming. We're still protesting. We're still getting violent instead of creating the solutions. Are you ready to join me in solutions? I want to also point out, if you go down in my description, there are choices for you. Thank you for, Jen, thank you for your email. She said she's purchased some of these items and they've been wonderful, and now she's doing more and more of that. That's how it starts. It's the butterfly. I've got an Amazon store down there. It supports sustainable, vegan products, non-toxic, no plastic. I have water filters. Get the toxins, get the opiates and the arsenic and the stuff out of your system. Filter it. We have to be aware. Purchase these items that are going to help change our world, and stop purchasing the things that are destroying it. You are in control. I go to stores that don't package things. I know you can't avoid it sometimes, right? But if you can avoid it and buy something that is not packaged, do it. I bring my own little bags, even for my broccoli and my spinach and all these things. You have to start taking the higher road, my friend. We have to create the world. So go down there in the description. My hair shampoo's amazing, no toxins. You want your hair to be beautiful? Stop putting chemicals on it, right? I never use any kind of makeup that harms animals. If you want to know, go to PETA, P-E-T-A, look what they recommend. They'll tell you. Sometimes they say they're bunny friendly. They don't test on animals, but they have animal ingredients. You don't want that, because that encourages them to keep doing that, all right? I'm sorry. You can't play ignorance anymore, because you are absolutely powerful. Yeah, you're actually whole and powerful, perfect, dynamic, amazing. You guys who want an online business, come on over. We have people in children's education, artists doing amazing things. And we have a psychic medium. We have a health and wellness coach doing events. We have somebody who's going to go cross country and go into energy vortexes and stuff. It's just crazy what my students are doing, and it's beautiful and wonderful. And I can't wait to see what you do. So if you're interested, come on over. We'll find out what your skills and talents are. You don't have to know that. We'll find what that is, and then we monetize it the real way. We produce real business owners. Not, I'm just going to put something out and sell it online. No, we have business strategies and plans so that you're creating something real that you own. You got to take the action, my friend. Quit criticizing people who are doing that and start being the change. Be the change. You're whole, perfect, strong, and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. This is an energy field right here. You just have to choose it. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.